Integrity is often thought of as something that is tested in the spotlight, when others are watching, when applause or judgment is possible. Yet the truth is far more profound. The real measure of character lies in what is done when there is no audience, when no recognition or reward is possible. These invisible acts, performed in quiet spaces of our lives, reveal the depth of who we are. They are small choices, decisions to act with honesty, to show kindness, to offer help without expectation, to keep promises that only we know we are keeping. It is in these private moments that the soul is quietly molded, where moral courage and authenticity are cultivated. The world may never notice these deeds, but their significance cannot be overstated. They are the roots from which a strong character grows, the silent testimonies of what is possible when one chooses right over convenience, duty over indifference, integrity over self-interest. Even when unnoticed, these actions carry power. They are threads woven into the fabric of life, influencing circumstances and relationships in ways that often remain unseen. A kind word spoken in solitude can transform a mind when later shared indirectly. A choice to act ethically in secrecy sets a precedent that shapes future behavior. Integrity practiced in private becomes instinctive. It develops a consistency that cannot be faked or shaken by circumstance. It is in the moments of solitude, when no one else is present, that the mind and heart are truly tested. Do we do the right thing because it benefits us, or because it is the right thing? The answer emerges in these unseen acts, where character is not an external performance but an internal compass guiding every action, shaping not only how we live, but also the legacy we leave behind. There is a certain freedom in acting with integrity when no one is watching. There is no pressure to impress, no need to conform to external expectations, no applause to seek. Actions in these spaces are genuine, untainted by vanity or fear of judgment. They are pure reflections of one's values, beliefs, and principles, and while the world may overlook them, unseen forces, principles that govern consequence, influence, and balance, acknowledge these acts. Over time, these quiet choices accumulate, creating a character that radiates strength, reliability, and trustworthiness. They prepare a person to act courageously when attention is unavoidable, and to respond with wisdom, even under scrutiny. Invisible acts of integrity are, in essence, the foundation upon which greatness is built. They teach patience, humility, and a profound understanding that what is right matters more than what is visible, shaping a life that speaks in quiet but undeniable ways. Every action carries meaning, whether it is seen or unseen. Often we are tempted to measure the value of our deeds by the attention they receive or the praise they elicit. Yet true purpose exists beyond the gaze of others. It thrives in the understanding that even the smallest choices, when guided by intention, can shape realities in ways we may never fully comprehend. Performing a deed without the expectation of recognition requires a deeper awareness of cause and effect, a trust that actions matter in the larger scheme of life. It is in these quiet moments that one's purpose becomes most genuine. Whether it is offering support to someone in need, speaking a truth that may be uncomfortable, or simply choosing patience in the face of frustration, these acts are the seeds of influence that spread far beyond immediate perception. They remind us that the significance of our lives is not determined by applause, but by the lasting consequences of our choices, the impact that ripples outward silently, shaping futures we cannot yet see. Living with purpose beyond observation demands an understanding that the world is interconnected in ways often invisible to us. Every thoughtful decision, even when unnoticed, contributes to a network of influence that stretches beyond our direct comprehension. A kind gesture may inspire someone else to act compassionately. A moment of integrity may strengthen trust, and a quiet effort may create a foundation for success in ways we might never witness. The power of intention lies in its persistence, in the knowledge that each act of care, discipline, or courage contributes to a broader narrative of life. It is not the immediate reward that defines our purpose, but the enduring effects of our consistent, mindful choices. To act with such awareness is to embrace a form of responsibility that transcends external validation, to recognize that the unseen work of our hands, hearts, and minds is what ultimately shapes the path of our lives and the lives of those around us. Choosing purpose beyond observation requires courage, for it often means acting without certainty that the effort will be acknowledged or rewarded. It calls for a mindset that values principle over praise, patience over urgency, and consistency over convenience. It is the understanding that life's most meaningful contributions are rarely measured by immediate recognition, but by the subtle ways they influence, inspire, and sustain. In doing the right thing quietly, we prepare ourselves to act with confidence and integrity when the world is watching, because the practice of purpose has already been forged in the shadows. By embracing actions that matter beyond observation, we become architects of lasting change, creating a life defined not by visible accolades, but by a quiet, enduring influence that continues to shape the world long after our immediate presence has passed. Inner strength is not always displayed through grand gestures or public victories. Often, it is quiet, subtle, and deeply personal. It is the ability to maintain one's principles, values, and focus even when there is no external pressure or audience to acknowledge effort. Discipline is the companion of this strength, guiding daily choices, sustaining consistency, and shaping habits that define character. Together, they form the foundation of resilience, enabling individuals to navigate life's challenges with calm determination. When a person acts rightly, not because of recognition or expectation, but because it aligns with their core values, they reveal a power that cannot be shaken by circumstance or opinion. This kind of strength grows through repeated conscious choices that prioritize integrity, responsibility, and purpose over immediate comfort or convenience, building a life that is steady, reliable, and aligned with meaningful principles rather than fleeting accolades. Maintaining inner strength and discipline requires self-awareness and courage. It means resisting temptations that may provide momentary relief but compromise long-term goals or moral clarity. It demands the patience to work persistently, even when progress seems invisible or rewards appear distant. Every choice to act ethically, to persist in effort, or to control impulses reinforces a sense of personal authority, allowing a person to respond to adversity with composure rather than reaction. Discipline is not merely a rigid routine. It is a conscious commitment to act in alignment with one's purpose and values consistently. Over time, these habits become a framework of stability, allowing the individual to face uncertainty, pressure, and temptation with unwavering clarity. It is this internal reservoir of strength that defines how a person engages with the world, how they treat others, and how they confront challenges when recognition or support is absent. True inner strength is often invisible to those around us because it manifests in choices made without expectation of reward or acknowledgement. It is present in the moments we keep our word, even when it is inconvenient, in the persistence to continue work when no one notices, and in the restraint to act with kindness when provoked or ignored. Discipline turns these moments into a pattern, a lifestyle that quietly shapes character. By cultivating inner strength and discipline, a person becomes capable of extraordinary resilience. They are equipped to navigate uncertainty, endure difficulty, and contribute meaningfully, all while maintaining integrity. This combination transforms ordinary effort into profound influence, demonstrating that the most powerful force in life is not external validation, but the quiet, consistent commitment to live rightly, even when the world does not watch. Faith in the unseen is a principle that sustains action when certainty is absent. It is the quiet conviction that effort, integrity, and perseverance matter, even if the results are not immediately visible. Life often presents moments where outcomes are uncertain, where the impact of choices cannot be measured by immediate feedback or recognition. In these moments, faith in the unseen becomes essential, serving as a compass that guides decisions and strengthens resolve. It allows a person to act with purpose, to continue making the right choices, and to invest energy in paths that may not yield instant rewards. This kind of faith is not passive belief, but active trust, rooted in the understanding that every action contributes to a larger design beyond immediate perception. It nurtures patience, allowing one to persist in effort despite delays, setbacks, or the absence of acknowledgement, and cultivates the quiet confidence that what is done in honesty and good intent will produce meaningful consequences. Faith in the unseen also shapes perspective, reminding individuals that value is not always defined by what is observed or celebrated publicly. Often, the most profound effects of one's actions are invisible, rippling outward in ways that may never be directly attributed to the source. By embracing this principle, a person learns to act consistently according to their values, regardless of circumstance or audience. It cultivates resilience in the face of uncertainty, providing strength to make difficult decisions, uphold moral integrity, and contribute positively without needing confirmation or validation. This faith encourages the understanding that life is interconnected and that every thoughtful choice, kind act, and disciplined effort matters, even if its influence is hidden for a time. It teaches that the unseen often carries the most enduring significance, shaping character, destiny, and the environment in ways that are subtle yet profound. Living with faith in the unseen requires trust in timing, in effort, and in principles that extend beyond immediate comprehension. It is an acknowledgement that patience, humility, and perseverance are essential in pursuing meaningful work, relationships, and personal growth. This faith empowers individuals to maintain hope, act courageously, and embrace responsibility even in solitude. It fosters a mindset that values long-term influence over short-term reward and aligns actions with enduring purpose rather than fleeting recognition. Over time, those who cultivate this faith build a life of integrity and impact that is resilient to external judgment, capable of enduring trials, and capable of leaving a lasting positive legacy. Faith in the unseen is the invisible force that transforms ordinary choices into extraordinary character, guiding every step toward a life that matters in ways both subtle and enduring. Endurance through trials is the measure of true character, revealed not in comfort or ease, but in moments of challenge and adversity. Life presents difficulties that test patience, courage, and moral resolve. It is during these times, when the path is steep and the outcome uncertain, that the depth of one's strength is revealed. Endurance is more than mere survival. It is the consistent choice to act rightly, to persist in effort, and to maintain integrity even when circumstances seem overwhelming. Trials expose weaknesses but also cultivate resilience, teaching lessons that success in easy conditions never can. By embracing hardship as an opportunity for growth, individuals develop a capacity to face uncertainty without surrendering values or abandoning principles. The ability to endure is not innate. It is built over time through repeated acts of courage, persistence, and self-discipline, forming the foundation for a life of meaningful impact and moral consistency. Trials also illuminate the power of perspective. Endurance is strengthened when challenges are viewed not as barriers, but as opportunities to refine strength and character. Difficult moments test the resolve to act with fairness, compassion, and wisdom, often requiring the suppression of fear, anger, or frustration. Each challenge endured leaves a lasting impression, shaping judgment and deepening understanding of self and others. The capacity to withstand trials develops humility, patience, and empathy, qualities essential for leadership and influence. Those who endure learn to navigate uncertainty with calmness, to respond thoughtfully rather than react impulsively, and to maintain their commitments even when external support is absent. In this way, endurance transforms hardship into a source of power, turning struggle into experience and difficulty into mastery over circumstance and emotion. The cultivation of endurance requires intentional practice, consistency, and a mindset that values growth over immediate comfort. It is not simply bearing pain, but actively working through challenges while maintaining clarity of purpose. Those who endure understand that obstacles are temporary and that the ability to persist builds inner fortitude that no external difficulty can undermine. Over time, the cumulative effect of enduring trials strengthens character, enabling the individual to act decisively, ethically, and courageously in future situations. Endurance becomes a silent testimony of reliability and strength, demonstrating that the ability to withstand adversity is not just survival, but a transformation of challenge into opportunity. A life marked by enduring trials leaves a lasting influence, inspiring others, creating resilience, and proving that true strength is forged in the quiet crucible of perseverance, beyond recognition, applause, or ease. Influence without recognition is a quiet power, often overlooked because it does not announce itself with applause or public acknowledgement. True impact does not always require visibility. In fact, some of the most profound effects are produced in ways that remain unseen. A simple act of kindness, a thoughtful word, or a consistent display of integrity can ripple outward, touching lives in ways that the actor may never witness. These invisible contributions shape environments, nurture trust, and create opportunities for growth in others. Understanding this principle allows individuals to act with purpose without attachment to immediate reward, developing the patience and humility to recognize that value is not determined by recognition. Influence that does not seek attention is enduring because it is rooted in sincerity, consistency, and moral clarity, rather than the desire for validation or approval. It demonstrates that leadership and impact are not always measured by public acclaim, but by the lasting effects of one's actions on the world around them. Living with the awareness of unseen influence requires perspective and intentionality. It demands recognizing that every decision, no matter how small or unnoticed, carries consequences. By acting with care, integrity, and thoughtfulness even when alone, a person contributes to the foundation of progress, understanding, and resilience in their surroundings. The most meaningful guidance and inspiration often come quietly, through example rather than proclamation, shaping behaviors, beliefs, and attitudes over time. Influence without recognition teaches the value of patience, humility, and long-term thinking, reminding us that immediate acknowledgement is not the measure of worth. Those who embrace this principle understand that their actions, though unseen, are meaningful threads in a larger tapestry, capable of producing enduring change and creating ripple effects that may extend far beyond their own perception or lifetime. This kind of influence cultivates a deeper sense of responsibility and integrity. When actions are guided by principle rather than attention, the individual becomes a stabilizing presence, a source of quiet guidance and support that others can rely on, even if they do not always express gratitude. Influence without recognition fosters consistency in behavior, encourages selfless contribution, and strengthens moral courage. Over time, the cumulative effect of unseen acts builds a legacy that is subtle yet profound. It is a reminder that the true measure of impact lies not in visibility or praise, but in the positive change that arises from consistent, thoughtful, and principled action. By embracing this, individuals develop the capacity to lead, inspire, and shape outcomes in ways that are both quiet and lasting, demonstrating that the greatest influence is often the one that is never broadcast but always felt. Self-reflection and accountability are the foundations of personal growth and enduring integrity. They require the courage to look inward honestly, to examine one's decisions, actions, and intentions without excuse or avoidance. It is through self-reflection that a person recognizes both strengths and areas for improvement, cultivating awareness of how choices affect not only themselves but also those around them. Accountability follows naturally from this awareness, as it demands responsibility for one's behavior and a willingness to accept the consequences of actions. Together, these principles foster maturity, resilience, and moral clarity. They encourage individuals to act consciously rather than reactively, to consider the long-term impact of decisions, and to align behavior consistently with values. Without reflection and accountability, even well-intentioned actions may become misaligned, inconsistent, or ineffective. By embracing them, a person develops the capacity to learn from mistakes, refine their character, and navigate life with greater wisdom and integrity, ensuring that their influence is both intentional and trustworthy. Self-reflection also builds clarity in moments of uncertainty, providing insight into motivations and patterns of behavior that may otherwise go unnoticed. It allows a person to pause, evaluate, and adjust course when necessary, rather than blindly following impulse or habit. Accountability strengthens this process by requiring honesty with oneself and others. It cultivates discipline, reinforcing the understanding that actions have consequences and that responsibility cannot be deferred or ignored. When combined, reflection and accountability create a feedback loop that promotes continuous growth. Every decision becomes an opportunity to learn, every challenge a test of character. They empower individuals to rise above defensiveness, pride, or fear of judgment, replacing these with a mindset of self-improvement, ethical consistency, and constructive influence. Through this process, people build trustworthiness and reliability, not for recognition, but as a reflection of their commitment to integrity and meaningful contribution. Practicing self-reflection and accountability is not always easy, as it requires humility, patience, and courage to confront uncomfortable truths. It challenges the tendency to rationalize mistakes, blame others, or avoid responsibility. Yet, it is in facing these truths that real growth occurs. Those who embrace this path develop the ability to act with confidence and clarity, knowing that their choices are deliberate and guided by principle. They become models of integrity, not through outward display, but through the consistent alignment of thought, word, and action. Over time, this commitment fosters a profound sense of inner strength, reliability, and ethical grounding, shaping a life that positively influences others and leaves a lasting impact. Self-reflection and accountability transform ordinary actions into deliberate, purposeful contributions, ensuring that every choice is meaningful, intentional, and aligned with the higher standard of personal excellence. A legacy of quiet heroism is built not on fame, applause, or public recognition, but on consistent, principled action that shapes the world in subtle yet profound ways. It is the accumulation of small, often unnoticed acts of courage, kindness, and integrity that together leave a lasting mark. Quiet heroes do not seek validation, yet their influence is enduring. They demonstrate strength by doing the right thing even when it is difficult or inconvenient. They act with compassion when no one is watching, support others without expectation of reward, and maintain their principles in the face of adversity. This kind of heroism inspires through example rather than words, shaping the lives of those who witness it indirectly and creating ripples that extend far beyond immediate perception. Over time, these actions compound, forming a legacy that reflects character, values, and the silent power of unwavering dedication to what is right. Quiet heroism is not limited to extraordinary feats. It is often revealed in the ordinary moments of life. It can be seen in someone who consistently chooses honesty over convenience, patience over frustration, or generosity over self-interest. These choices may seem small at the time, yet their cumulative effect is transformative. They foster trust, create opportunities for growth, and set standards for ethical behavior. The quiet hero recognizes that influence does not require spectacle, and that the most meaningful contributions are often those that go unseen. By acting with integrity in these moments, individuals demonstrate that heroism is a matter of commitment and character rather than visibility. Their legacy is defined by the lives they touch, the values they uphold, and the consistency of their actions, rather than accolades or public acknowledgement. Building a legacy of quiet heroism requires conscious effort, self-discipline, and an understanding of long-term impact. It demands patience and humility, the ability to act consistently without immediate reward, and the courage to persist even when others do not notice. Quiet heroes understand that their actions matter beyond recognition, and that the effect of a single act of integrity can resonate far beyond the moment. They cultivate trust, inspire resilience, and leave a positive imprint on communities and individuals alike. Over time, this legacy becomes a silent but powerful force, shaping culture, influencing behavior, and inspiring future generations. It is a reminder that heroism is not defined by spectacle, but by the courage, integrity, and quiet commitment to doing what is right, consistently and without fanfare, ensuring a life that leaves a meaningful and enduring impact. Recognition of hidden efforts emphasizes that the true measure of value is not always visible, and that the work done quietly often carries the deepest significance. Many actions, whether acts of integrity, compassion, or dedication, go unnoticed in daily life. The effort invested in moments where no one is watching is not diminished by a lack of acknowledgement. In fact, it is often more powerful because it is motivated by principle rather than reward. These hidden efforts shape character, influence outcomes, and create foundations upon which others may build. They demonstrate commitment, patience, and authenticity, revealing the essence of a person beyond appearances or public approval. Understanding the importance of hidden effort fosters humility and reinforces the idea that meaningful impact is measured by the depth of one's choices rather than the applause received. Hidden efforts also carry an unseen influence that extends beyond the immediate context. A decision made quietly to act with integrity can alter trajectories, inspire others indirectly, and create an environment of trust and reliability. People who recognize the value of unseen work understand that their contributions matter even when they are not acknowledged. This perspective strengthens perseverance, encouraging continued action in alignment with principles rather than for external reward. Hidden efforts form the invisible scaffolding of progress in communities, relationships, and personal growth, demonstrating that meaningful change often originates in small, deliberate, and unrecognized actions. By valuing these efforts, individuals cultivate resilience and a deeper sense of purpose, acting with confidence that what is done rightly is inherently worthwhile. The recognition of hidden efforts is also internal. It is an acknowledgement within oneself that every act of dedication, honesty, or care contributes to a greater whole. This internal recognition reinforces consistency and encourages sustained ethical behavior. It shifts focus from temporary praise to lasting impact, ensuring that decisions are guided by principle rather than desire for visibility. Those who honor their hidden efforts develop integrity that is independent of circumstances, a steadfast commitment that persists through difficulty and solitude. Over time, these unheralded contributions accumulate, creating a legacy of influence, trust, and quiet leadership. Recognizing and valuing hidden efforts allows individuals to act with courage, maintain discipline, and embrace responsibility, demonstrating that true achievement is often measured not by what is seen, but by what is faithfully and conscientiously done behind the scenes. The power of consistent integrity lies in its ability to define character and influence outcomes over time. It is not the occasional act of honesty or morality that builds lasting strength, but the unwavering commitment to doing what is right in every